Welcome, everybody, to Bearcat Insider. You're listening to our 50-second podcast, and this is going to be the Jim Ned Scouting Report.
Yes, sir.
I'm Chance Kirby. I'm with everybody's favorite assistant coach, Travis Marsh. And get us into it, Coach. Give us an overview first. Who are we facing?
Well, we're facing Jim Ned. They are, I do believe, 12-1 on the season. They had an early season. No, they're not 12-1 because they didn't play a couple games. They're a one-loss football team.
Yeah, I saw they had a 1-0 win, which is an impossibility if you play the game. So
Yeah, no, they had a couple forfeiture wins, but they lost early in the year to Ballinger in week 1, and ever since then, they are undefeated.
Well, and, you say we're playing Jim Ned. Well, where is Jim Ned, and who is Jim Ned?
Well, give me 1 second. Let's make a phone call. Hey, what's up? This is Chance Kirby and Travis Marsh, the Bearcat Insider.
How are you guys doing on this fine morning?
We're doing good. How are you doing, Caleb?
I'm doing good.
All right, so we're coming back to the Philadelphia connection here to learn a little bit about Jim Ned, and so Chance just posted the "Who are they and where are they?" question, and we know no better person to go to than you.
Well, Caleb, unbeknownst to me, I just found out we're playing Jim Ned, and the first question I had was, who are they and where are they?
Yeah. So, I think this is one of those interesting opportunities because who are they is actually a person this time, because Jim Ned is an actual person, and we're going to talk about who actually Jim Ned is. But Jim Ned is actually in a town called Tuscola, Texas. It's a small town in Taylor County. It's got about 740 people in it, and it's 220 miles west of Pilot Point. So again, if you were to drive west, you'd hit Tuscola, Texas, and you'd hit Abilene, and then you'd have to go about 18 miles south to get to Tuscola.
So odds are, not to interrupt, but that's what I do. Unlike Clyde and Shallowater, let me back that up. Unlike Clyde and Bushland, we probably haven't driven through that and been unaware. Sounds like you have to go to Tuscola to get there.
100%. If you're not looking for it, you probably wouldn't find it. And I'm sure the people there are great. I'm sure it's a wonderful little town, but there's not really a whole lot of reason to go there otherwise.
Okay.
So yeah, you're exactly right. So, but it's interesting because Tuscola it's an Indian word, and you'll get a lot of Native American references throughout this. Who are they? Because Tuscola, depending on who you talk to, it could mean like warrior yell, it could mean warrior people, or it could mean warrior prairie. So Tuscola is it has a basis in Native American culture. We'll get a little bit deeper into that, but it was started in 1898 by a guy named Clarence Cash, and he got there and set up shop and kind of created a little town. And in 1899, Tuscola became actually like a real town. It got a post office, and then by 1912, they built their first school. Had an auditorium. It was like a small 2-story building. It had about 300 residents. And, just so we're clear and we cover all the bases here, they had 4 churches. They had public school facilities. They actually had, I don't know why it lists this, but they had 2 fraternal organizations, then also businesses and a newspaper. So by 1913, Tuscola really had become a town.
Fraternal organizations, I'm thinking that would be like Elks or Kiwanis or something like that.
Yes, exactly.
They probably have a Masonic Lodge.
They probably do, something like that. But, it was about 300 residents then, but it's up to 742 people in Tuscola now. So you're probably asking yourself, well, how does a town with just 742 people, have a school this size that could play Pilot Point in the playoffs? And that's because it was an area. So Taylor County had been there's a place called Jim Ned Creek that runs through 3 towns, and those towns are Tuscola, Buffalo Gap, and Lawn. And those make up what's called the Jim Ned Valley, and they are also what makes up the Jim Ned Consolidated Independent School District. So started out as Tuscola High School, then in 1948 became South Taylor High School, and then in 1957 finally became what we know now as Jim Ned High School.
Now, for the general listener that's out there,
yeah,
who's somebody that they can relate to or know that is attached to Jim Ned?
Well, there are two people that are attached to Jim Ned. One, I think everybody probably knows it, follows football, especially college football at all, and that's Colt McCoy. He actually made an appearance last night for the New York Giants. He plays for the Giants now, but he became a more or less a household name playing at University of Texas. And his dad was actually the coach at Jim Ned at the time he played at Jim Ned, and then went on to UT. So that's probably
how did his last game at UT go? Do you remember?
Yeah, it didn't go so great.
No.
For him or the Longhorns. Yeah.
Oh no!
If you lose in the national championship game,
yeah, that means you're just like Bailey. You didn't win it.
Wow.
Yeah, I stole your thunder.
I disagree.
I'm sorry, Caleb. We digress. Go ahead. I apologize.
It's quite all right. To be fair to Colt, he didn't get a chance to finish the game. So, we don't know how that would have played out had he been healthy.
That's true.
Cowboy quarterback Garrett Gilbert came into the game.
That's right.
And Colt McCoy did have a fantastic college career, to be envied by most.
Yeah, and then, there's another really interesting football player that I learned about. I'd never heard of this guy. Other people may have, but I hadn't. His name is Ed Sprinkle.
Oh, Mr. Sprinkle? Come on now.
Yeah, but
no,
Ed
I've never
Sprinkle,
heard of
he played for the Chicago Bears in like the 40s and 50s. He actually played 12 seasons in the NFL.
Okay.
And he's known as the meanest man in pro football. That was his nickname.
Oh gosh.
And
he doesn't have any grandkids on the team, does he?
No, he does not. He went to Hardin-Simmons, and then he went to the Naval Academy, and then he got signed by George Halas to play for the Bears. So,
well, there you go.
I know both of you guys are really into Madden. Do they have historical teams? Maybe y'all need to give him a try and see.
Oh man, sprinkling a little Ed Sprinkle. I think that might be worth it. Yeah. So no, I don't know if they have that, but he's also known as the Claw. So he sounds like a pretty cool guy.
This is the most interesting man in Jim Ned. Sorry, Colt.
This is slowly becoming like the WWF.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, the WWE.
So too. The more I read about Ed Sprinkle, the more I was like, yeah, I kind of agree with you. I was more like Colt McCoy. Let's talk about Ed more. This guy's interesting. So speaking of names, though, let's get to the part where we find out who Jim Ned is, because this is the whole thing: is who are they? And Jim Ned is actually a person. And Jim Ned is he was a Delaware Indian chief, so he was a Native American, and he actually had a village around Whitney and Hillsborough, and then he became I guess like a spy more or less for the Texas militia, and he was helping them I guess probably fight off some of his own people as far as Native Americans go. But he is named the town is named after this Indian chief. So I guess this is why they're the Jim Ned Indians, I would assume. But that's where the name Jim Ned comes from. So,
well, there you go. The more you know.
Yep. The more you know.
Well, and you've just made it personal now, because now I feel like I'm having to compete against probably the ghost of Ed Sprinkle at this point.
That's right.
And so, well, very good. Well, if for some reason Colt McCoy listens, we'd love to have you on. Maybe you can be on the Jim Ned postgame show, Colt. And I promise I won't talk crap to your face, because I'm not. I don't have the guts to do that.
I think he's busy right now.
He's a little busy, yeah.
Well, Caleb, very good. Thank you for enlightening us all about a little Jim Ned trivia. Well, good deal. Yeah. Well, we sure appreciate you, and I love you. I can't speak for Chance, but I do love you.
Hey, love you too, Chance. Love you too.
Hey,
y'all have a
love
good day,
everywhere.
All right? It was fun being on again. Thanks, guys.
See you, bro.
Talk to y'all later.
Bye. All right, so now that we know all about Jim Ned, let's talk about what happens when Jim Ned has the football.
Cat fans, one thing that I love about walking into the field house is looking at all the old pictures that you have from years past and being able to relive the history of those great teams and great players. And I love walking through with my sons and showing them a picture and saying, man, look at that guy, and telling them a story about a great play. And you can have the same opportunity to do that with your family by using Ashley Marsh Photography to capture your family's great memories. Seeing those pictures of your family will allow you to talk to your kids or your grandkids and tell great stories about things that you've done or things that you've seen or just funny memories that you might have. So if you ever want to document your family's history, please contact Ashley Marsh Photography. You can find her on Facebook, on Instagram using Ashley Marsh Photography, as well as her website, ashleymarshphotography.com.
Located in Pilot Point, Texas, the Chandler family has been making custom cabinets for over 40 years. As a team, Chandler Cabinets is committed to designing and building the perfect cabinets for you. They will make the process comfortable and stress-free by personally guaranteeing a superior product built on the standard of superior craftsmanship and immaculate customer satisfaction. From concept to completion, perfect form and function. Chandler Cabinets is an award-winning company with a reputation for consistent innovation at the highest level of design. You can find more information on Chandler Cabinets at chandlercabinets.net or on their Facebook page, Chandler Cabinets. Chandler Cabinets, 40 years of excellence.
So when Jim Ned has the football, number 5 is alive because Xavier, oh man, I'd be lying if I knew exactly how to pronounce his last name, but his first name's Xavier, and I do believe it's Wishart or something along those lines.
You've always say numbers. Why change now?
So number 5, he's the real deal. He's a heck of a running back. They're going to find multiple ways to get him the ball, and they excel on the strong back of number 5. The quarterback is a solid quarterback. He throws a good ball for sure. That's number 11. His favorite receiving target is number 2, who's a fantastic receiver. Does a good job getting open, makes tough catches. He made a tough catch on a slant to kind of seal the Brock game, and then he made another tough catch on a slant in the Paradise game where he had traffic all around him and people all over him, and he pulled it in at a very clutch time. So you can look for big things from number 2.
What did it's been a long time, but I know you'll remember better than me. Number 5 was pretty solid last year when we played them, and then there was also a number 7 that I assume graduated.
This year's number 5 is last year's number 7.
Oh, great! It's the same guy.
Yeah, same guy. And so he's pretty good. He brings a little bit of a different skill set to the table than number 5 did last year. Number 5 last year was a very one cut and he was gone type of running back. He had exceptional speed, and that's not to take anything away from the 2020 version of number 5. But I don't see 2020 number 5 having the same home run speed that last year's number 5. But he is a load, and he's a good running back. He has fantastic vision. He can make you miss, and he has enough speed, though, to be very dangerous in the open field.
I haven't watched any game film, but sad for you, I did watch last year's game, so I feel like I have some. They ran some a lot of Wildcat, if I remember last year. They still do that?
They do. That was part of the key to the Brock game was being able to run the Wildcat. Now they did beat Brock 19-16. They were up 16-0 at halftime. But they only scored one offensive touchdown. They had a safety, they had a field goal, and then they had a kickoff return off of the free kick following the safety. They had about 170 yards of total offense against Brock. And so, there is hope, except for the whole thing that they beat a team by 3 that beat us by 40.
Yeah, this team ain't no joke.
Not at all.
They
find a way to win. That's what Jim Ned does. They're survivors.
They just beat the team that did hang 66 on us 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So anyone that is out there thinking, "Oh well, Brock's out of the way.
So
here we go."
Somebody had to beat Brock to get Brock out of the way, and we got him.
That's true, and that's who we're playing. And
Yep.
they are not someone to be taken lightly.
No, not at all.
all.
But you respect all and you don't take anything away from them, but you fear no one.
Oh, we'll be there Thursday night at 7. We're going to show up.
Yeah, and that's the thing that people have to understand is, man, I respect the crap out of what Coach Fanning and his staff and those kids are doing over at Jim Ned. It's impressive. They have an impressive resume. But, I mean, we just got to go get in a fight with them. You know, and you know, when you get in a fight with someone, there's no rules. Now, obviously, there's rules in a football game because I'm sure the referees will be there to enforce them. But luckily, Coach Fanning, he gets along with the referees about as well as I do. You know, we'll go out there and we'll give it our best shot. But you know, their offensive line is good. They're obviously they're well coached and they're big. So, you know what, our work's cut out for us whenever they have the ball, and we have to be ready. And you know, at this point in the game, you got to be ready for anything. You know, is it going to be a reverse pass? Is it going to be the belly bum like what the Washington Redskins did on Thanksgiving Day to the Cowboys? Is it a toss pass? You know, something's going to happen, and we just have to be ready. And then, like what we've been saying for it feels like forever, they're going to make plays. How do we respond to them making plays is what's going to come down to.
When you get to this round, everybody's good.
Yeah, there's not a bad team out there.
Helsel Barbershop and Salon and Southern Junkies has been home of the Bearcats since 1973. Whether you are looking for a classic crew cut or the perfect game day outfit, we have you covered. We carry a few fan favorite brands including Hey Dude Shoes, Judy Blue Jeans, Z Supply Clothing, and Orleans Candle Company. Come check us out on the north side of the square in downtown Paula Point or online at www.southernjunkies.com, and that is junkies with a Z. And don't forget, go Bearcats!
There is no better source for local news than the Pilot Point Post-Signal. Pilot Point Post-Signal has been covering Pilot Point since 1878, providing award-winning, top-notch coverage of Pilot Point and the Pilot Point Bearcats. You can start your subscription today by going to postsignal.com and signing up for their special, which is 2 months free of the digital and print copy, or you can call their phone number at 940-686-2169. The Pilot Point Post-Signal, the best source for local news.
Now, whenever they are on defense, okay, they're an exceptionally good defensive team. They can stop you. They have a very disruptive defensive line. They run a 3-man front. Very, very good up front. Those three cats, numbers 32, 55, and 61, do a fantastic job from the down lineman position. And they have, number 5. He's going to be the man on offense. He's also the man on defense. He plays a linebacker for him, and he's very active. Makes a lot of plays all over the field. And then his partner in crime there in the middle is number 40. And, he's a good football player as well. Now, not to take anything away from anybody else that plays on that team, but whenever I was watching that Brock game, number 14 at safety is a ball player. He is extremely good, and then his safety partner back there is number 8, and he's a fantastic safety, and they have 2 really good corners, number 2 and number 1. And so our work's cut out for us. They do a good job. They don't blitz a whole lot. They get enough pressure with their front that they don't have to blitz as often as some teams do, and they're well coached. They're sound defensively. They adjust. They give you enough variety to make life difficult for you, for sure. And so it'll be interesting.
Well, to bring it back to something that those of us in Pilot Point may understand or relate to, what kind of game? Obviously, they had to contain Cash, or they wouldn't have won. What did Cash do against them?
I don't know if Cash's statistics off the. I know he had on their first or second drive, he had about a 60-yard touchdown called back because of holding. On their third or fourth offensive play, he ripped off a 45-yard run, so he had some success. And Brock had about 300 yards of total offense. Mm-hmm. And so there's opportunities for success, but the thing is you have to capitalize on them because it's not going to be a consistent thing. They do a really, really good job. And, the thing is, though, is it's like what I said before about the Incredible Hulk of the Avengers dropped that wild card of we have a Hulk. Well, we have a Max and we have an Ish. And we have an Jay, and we have an Avery, and an Aston, and an Aiden, and an offensive line that's, paving the way for a whole lot of really good stats. I can't help but think that everything isn't just awesome in the Jim Ned coach's office either. We have some problems that we can give people, and they're going to have to do a heck of a job to beat us. I know I talk about Coach Fanning. I worked for Coach Fanning in ERA, and that is he's a good football coach for sure. He's an excellent head coach, but more importantly, and from personal experience, he's an excellent man. He's a good man, and so anytime that we have a chance to go against, me personally, go against him, I know what the product is that we're going to get in return, and he's worked his tail off with his staff to get that team ready. And so, we have to be ready for anything, for sure.
Since 1983, the Scott Walker Insurance Agency has been covering the insurance needs of Pilot Point. Regardless of what that need may be, they have you covered, offering homeowners, auto, life, farm and ranch, and commercial. Give them a call at 940-686-2692. That's Germania Insurance, the Scott Walker Insurance Agency, located just north of the town square at 211 Scott Lane in Pilot Point, Texas. Scott Walker Insurance Agency, always there to help.
We want to wish our varsity cheerleader, Abby, a great senior year. Love Mom, Dad, and Michael.
Hi, I'm Greg Pelzel. Here at Pelzel Printing, we do custom embroidery, custom screen printing, and promotional product. You can reach Greg Pelzel at 940-453-5443. Go Bearcats.
PilotPointBearcats.com. We'll have the radio call and everything like that. But, man, it is awesome to have Bearcat fans in the seats. It really is. There's nothing.
We're making a lot of noise Friday.
Man, I'm telling you, and that is awesome, and we appreciate that. And we don't get to say that enough. How much we appreciate the support, and how much the kids feed off of it, and how much the coaches feed off of it, and so I know it's weird being a Thursday night game, but if there was ever a time, Bearcat fans, to burn the midnight oil on a weeknight, man, this Thursday is it. At 7:00 at Tarleton.
They still had rooms at the Best Western when I got mine.
And win, lose, or draw, I'll be at junior high basketball practice at 6:30 the next morning. And so, it's worth it, though. It's worth it of course, for the Friday night game, but it's worth it for those junior high kids. Anytime you're playing football in December, it is extremely exciting. And, you're looking at it now, and we're going to be kicking off on December 3rd on Thursday. And then I do believe the state championship game is December 17th at 7 p.m. And you never want to look ahead, and you never want to say, oh, well, after we beat Jim Ned, this and that. But, man, you have to keep the big picture in mind. You have to remember why this game is so important because of what's on the horizon. So, December football is awesome, and we're super excited to be here and to have the opportunities that we do.
And yes, don't look ahead, but you always want to know what is in the immediate future. If we win, the winner of our game will play the winner of the Malakoff Mount Vernon game, and they're playing Friday night on the 4th at 7 p.m. at Hanby Stadium. I don't know where that is. Do you know where Hanby Stadium is?
I want to think it's in Mesquite, but I don't know.
It is in Mesquite. I just found it, so there you go.
Very good.
Mesquite. So hopefully that's something that we have a great interest in on Friday night.
It'd be really nice to go scout a game.
Yeah.
I'd love it. But, got to take care of business against the old Jim Ned Indians first and see what happens. And we are the home team. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Like I said, it's super exciting, and we can't wait, for the opportunity. And as always, a big thank you to our sponsors, Chandler Cabinets, Ashley Marsh Photography, the Pilot Point Post Signal, Dana Walker with Germania Insurance, Southern Junkies, and last but not least, Pelzel Printing. Without the generous support of those sponsors, this show wouldn't be possible. And so, Bearcat fans, just like you support the Bearcats, go support these local businesses. And as always, go Bearcats.
Oh, oh.